open. You will see the angels rise. Beginning of the end in your eyes. Son of man, son of
Greater light.
Oh man, morning light. Truly you must be born again. Oh, the kingdom you won't see, my friend. Born of water and of spirit. You can't enter, so just hear it. Truly, sons are knowing, fathers showing, sons are glowing. Truly, preach the life, out of dark into light. When I say
true, you say
truly,
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 truly.
say true, you say truly, true, truly, true, truly.
Get over here. Get over here.
Angels rise, beginning of the end.
Hold up. Let me start this for 1 second. My intro music for 1 second. Hey, Michael, guess what? They trying to blame it on the sun, huh? They trying to blame. Don't blame it on the sunshine, huh? Don't blame it on the sun. They trying to blame it on the sun, Michael, huh? What's about to go down? They trying to blame it on the sun. And you hear them coming up with all kind of stuff. Go ahead and take both pills. Huh? Michael, what did you say? Don't blame it on the sunshine. Don't you dare blame it on the shiny, the sun. Don't you dare. Huh? Let's go. Oh, they trying to mess with the system now, huh?
You won't see my
friend.
Born of water and of spirit. You can't answer, so just hear it. Truly, true, you must be born again.
They forgot the dot. When they was looking, they forgot about the dot.
You can't enter, so just hear it.
You thought they was talking about thought. You thought it was about the thought. When it could be about the thought. But when Lazarus LaBelle said they forgot the dot, he didn't realize what dot they was talking about. He thought it had something to do with a piece of ink in the middle of the infrastructure of a codex in the matrix created by Savon Beaumont, who says, he Jesus, and he said, I told y'all you would do greater. I see you with that Solomon beard. They forgot the dot. True, say, truly, say, truly, truly. When I say true, you say, truly, truly.
When I say true, you say truly, truly, true. When I say true, you say truly, true.
Greater light. Look, let me get it started properly. We got a lot of scripture to go over. It's a lot of mess going on, huh? That got me excited, huh? Whatever's going on back there at the stem, huh? They ain't stopping nothing. Jesus will not be replacing anybody's ear this time around. Huh? Let it fall. Let it rot. As a matter of fact, anybody who likes cartilage soups, pig ears and stuff, go ahead and get ready to take some ear and boil it down. And you know how we used to like pig ears growing up. Don't nobody play. Talk about trying to act like y'all know how good sauce used to be. You cut up them pig ears. That was the best part of the pig. Them pig ears. Huh? Jesus ain't picking up no ears. I don't know what story Luke did to try to make. I told y'all, you have to study to show thyself approved and rightly divide the word of truth. And let me tell you something about Luke. Luke was still one of them disciples that was not there. He was there taking notes. He was there taking notes and seeing how he could rewrite the story the best way that he could. And he even said in the beginning of his notes, he was like, look, y'all got the biography and the stories, but I'm going to tell it the way I want to tell it. It says it in the Bible. So if he was the doctor on call, how come Jesus had to pick up the ear and put the ear back? Why Luke didn't run? I tell you, whatever way that the good doctor decided that he was going to write the story and say, yeah, Jesus was in the garden praying. He was already in flesh. He didn't want to go to the cross. He was asking God to take. He was the one snooping and listening with his big ears. He was there asking when everybody was asleep. Nobody was sitting there with Jesus. Somebody pretending they was asleep was listening in to Jesus say, God, if you would take this cup from me. And they all, the last miracle recorded is Jesus placing the ear on the being, putting the ear back. Like what that was supposed to mean. That is, well, when you know that your enemies are against you and they come at you with swords, even if there's people to protect you like Peter, you do the best to heal your enemies that are coming against you to kill you. You run and let that be the last thing you do. You forgive them too. That's how much love and light is in the glory of God. No. That's Jesus in the flesh. That was Jesus before he went to the cross. That's when they tried to kill Jesus. Maybe very well as the good doctor was taking notes while all that was going on, while Judas coming in to grab the bag. He was ready. He's like, I got the bag. I'm going to get the bag. I'm getting the bag, boy. And then Peter was like, oh, no, y'all ain't going to touch Jesus. Which means war. He's slicing off ears. This isn't because Jesus had just spent all them hours by himself on his knees with no friends. All that he showed the disciples, all the miracles that they saw. And he sweating his tears and his sweat. His DNA just seeping out for what he know he about to go through. That his last miracle, he had many choices. He said, let me talk to my brother Judas and say, hey, Judas, I forgive you right now, my brother. Or, hey, doctor, put that pen down and you go heal that man's ear. You a doctor. I done taught you enough. Go heal that man's ear. It's plenty of directions Jesus could have went that evening. Coming out of the garden alone. Then Peter, he could have, Peter had a choice, and Peter made his choice to pick up the sword. Now he gonna scold Peter and say, look, you gonna Live by the sword, you're gonna die by the sword now. That's a message to you. You live by the sword, you're gonna die by the sword. There's many directions he could have went to have where his disciples wouldn't have lied and turned their back and act like they didn't know him and act like he was crazy, because that's how they had to do. That's how they had to play Jesus. I don't know what Jesus over there talking about. Y'all taking him to the? Oh, okay, all right. I sign off on that because I don't know who that is. I don't know. Not me. I ain't never been over there. I don't know Jesus. Huh? Now, did the being who ear he healed, did he go run and testify and make a testimony about that ear being chopped off? Did it stop Jesus? Did it help Jesus not go to the cross? Could it have been that in the last hope that Jesus said, you know what, God, I just came out the garden asking you, if you could take this cup from me, what do I have to do that I don't have to go to the cross? What do I have to do to show myself approved among these men that I know half of them ain't believing in me, and I know that Judas, he just turned me in, huh? After all the truth that I have walked with them and they have seen, what would be the last thing that would make it where I could possibly get and not have to go to the cross? Oh, heal my enemy's ear. Heal my enemy's ear. So I think Luke put this in for future and going back and forth 2 times so that when the light beings came to decipher the word of truth and rightly divided, that they would think that that meant in the last days we supposed to pray for the healing of the ear. And we supposed to be kumbaya. Michael Jackson already sang the song that y'all was supposed to do when he had ears of corn all over trying to save we are the world, we are the children, heal the world, make the world a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. There are people dying. If you care enough for the living, make a better. He tried. Y'all said it was a certain in particular races of people that was the problem. So you had Dr. Malachi Z. York say, well, we could gather them all into one place and y'all can leave us alone, huh? And you won't have to blame us for your ins and outs and what you got going on. And I'm not going to leave them in Egypt. I'm going to take them further and beyond. But we can go ahead if that's okay with y'all now, huh? Nope. Now what y'all think? That supposed to be praying for the ears to be healed. Ain't no ears healing here. Ain't no ears healing. My mind is God's mind. I'm always reflecting divine wisdom and divine intelligence. My brain symbolizes the capacity to think wisely and spiritually. God's ideas unfold within my mind in perfect sequence. I am always poised, balanced, serene, and calm because I know God has provided the perfect solution through my blood, sweat, and tears. Before my mother's womb, coded in my DNA, all 3 types of blood shapes that's in my DNA, all the chromosomes that they still haven't been able to figure out and know and understand and comprehend. They can't see your chromosomes. They can take your blood and find out some things, but if they had the code to your chromosomes, don't you know they would have gotten rid of you a long time ago? They would have found the right chemicals and chemical imbalances to not make you a test tube baby. They would have just wiped you out. It was like, look, we just depletion of the love and light beings, the beings that come from the one true and living God, the ones who accept the light code of Christ. Before I get into the scripture about the ears, here, let's go ahead and let Michael explain to you some things for me. Take it away, Michael.
Born a new self who is being created to a true knowledge according to the image of the one who created him. The people who walk darkness will see a great light. Those who live in a dark land, the light will shine on them. God's promise, 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 promise. God's promise, 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 promise. God's mind is my mind is light. I'm in always reflecting His sight. Always I acknowledge, no knowledge, no courage. Ooh, God, you promised that great day will come. Yes, God, you promised that I will see my son. You promised that He is by your side, and nothing can separate this love inside. No masters, no doctors can prescribe ways in my calling. Only His ways, oh ancient of days, can correct. He reflects the path I acknowledge. God's promise, 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 promise. 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 Put on a new self who is being created to a true knowledge according to the image of the one who created it. The people who walk in darkness will see a great light. Those who live in a dark land, the light will shine on them.
Thank you, Michael. Michael, they ain't trying to blame it on the, so what do you say about that? Anybody know me? When they out, I do that right now. Boy, I get them, Michael. What do you mean they blaming it on the sunshine? Didn't you tell them don't blame it on the sunshine? Don't you dare blame it on the sunshine. The things of this realm. All right, so how many scriptures we got about the ear? Why is she talking about the ear today? Those who have ear, let them hear. You got an ear, you better listen up. Huh? And Jesus ain't healing nobody ears these days and time. Talking to the government. Ain't nobody healing nobody ears. All the 144,000 witnesses know we ain't supposed to pray for no healing of the ear. Let's make this world a better place. It's too late for all that. This is the final roll call. This is the final. You better. My grandmother said, I'm so glad you chose to be in the number, baby. Huh? I'm so glad you chose to be in the number, baby. She told me that yesterday. She said, I'm so glad you made the right choice to be in the number. Jesus ain't healing no ears. 144,000 beings that have the light code know that all that happened in the garden that was flesh. That was Jesus in flesh. Huh? Ear. Let's see. What kind of ears? the ear for the corn, children of the corn. You have children of the corners of the flesh, children who they want to be attached to this land. They are right with the commerce and the commerce corn, the mazes that go through their corners' fields. They are children of the corn, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you wanted a blue ear of corn or red ear of corn, or however many ears, that's all good. But because you are indulging and teaching children the wrong way to go, your ears will shrivel up. And those who have the sickle blood, who know how good souse is, your ears will turn into popcorners. Your ears keep talking against the children of Christ and teaching people the wrong way to go. And pulling them into fields of corn, fields of dreams. Those who tell you it's okay to take the red pill and the blue pill are the same ones who probably got a heap of friends that live in Sodom and Gomorrah. No, God's love and light is for those who accept and turn away from the things of this flesh that don't make any sense, that is not natural. And you hear beings telling you it's okay to take both. You don't have to choose a side. You know why? Because they money hungry. The ones who tell you that most of their mamas work for the judicial system, was raised up at HBCU, sorority and fraternities and frats and stuff. You don't have to choose a side. Just straddle the women that sit with their legs wide open. My grandmother used to show us too. She used to tell us, you see how they sit there even with a dress on. They sit there with their legs wide open. Especially when we was living on the Dixie. She said, you see this. She was so glad when they moved her to the other end of the Dixie. It's okay. You don't have to choose a side. Just straddle over. If a man say that, I don't even get the men that say that. We like sodomy. You don't have to choose a side. Just swallow it all. Look, Christ coming for those to realize that unnatural things, if you fall in love and light of Christ, you'll be able to withstand and you will be prepared when you choose the right side. When the wrong side come against you, you won't fall in line. You be armored. You will be completely armored up and protected. I'm just saying. Let me tell you about ears. Let me tell you, oh boy. I went into a build with artificial intelligence this morning about how the um compasses, how their compasses are showing the sun rising at the north. No, now you know true north is you. You're true north. And whichever body you lay yourself in the direction you lay yourself based on the sun's position, because we know the sun does not rise or set. But the shift that happened on earth in this last transition for the final battle, the shift is so distinct that even some of the compasses in the artificial intelligence realm slip up and show you that the sun's position is at the north. And what does that mean for weather and anomalies? What does that mean in the tilt? There's no tilt in a sphere, but there's a tilt on this earth that has four corners. And then we have four corners of in the spiritual realm waiting for the transition. But this tilt has happened, and according to the flesh, the true north of flesh has changed dramatically based on the compasses. Now, I've taught my granddaughter little things like to know if you need to know where you're at. If you lay down, I done gave her all type of scenarios about knowing north and south and east and west based on the sun. But let's say we going on a spiritual realm. You are the pole. When you lay down, if you remember which direction the sun rises and sets, which the sun doesn't rise or set, when you lie, there is the east and the west. But your north pole has to do with your heart. Your the ether connection has to do with your heart. So if you're a person that lays on your back, your north is going to be up. It's not going to be your right hand or your left hand. It's going to be, because we're talking spiritual, it's going to be up. And if you're a person that lay on your stomach, your north is going to be facing down. Now, again, what does that have to do with what I'm talking about? Now I'm going to go to the mind. And your ears is your north, south, east, and west, right? Your east and your west. And your magnet and your pole is here. This is it. So now we're back to the up and down. And you try to comprehend why elderly, when they get a certain age, they can't they don't sleep comfortably anymore on their back or their stomach. Getting and preparing their body for once a man, twice a child, they begin to sit up. Or you notice where people are close to transitioning in hospitals, they always request that it's better. They request that their bed is inclined. They sit up. Let me get to the ear. because I'm going too deep in for some of y'all. Let me go into the ear. So I was just explaining, that's what the discussion, as I'm scrolling through, I was explaining some things to her about my views and how I see it. And she was explaining why the compasses on the phones may be a little off. The calibrations may be off. And then we went into chromosomes, because I know man can't, if they were able to really get our chromosomes and know our chromosomes and decipher them, the only thing they can do with our DNA is write over scripts, send messengers to write over, or to send an attack, a dysfunction to the codes in our DNA, memory erasers and things like that. That's the only, but they haven't been able to unlock the codes to your DNA just yet. That's why you are now in this phase of the government. They're moving you into classifying you as a patient. They done did all of the P's. You were a person, you were people. You went from property, and then they made you a person, and now anybody can be a person, a dog, a cat, the monkeys in Florida, in the sanctuaries, the whales, the rhinoceroses. They are classified as persons too. You went from property to person to we the people, and now you're a patient under the CHIPS Act law. And in order to continue doing their research and development with you signing a waiver to be, they can harvest and manipulate and do what they want to with your light once you have chosen the side that you decide to choose. And you have those that know it, but they're not telling you. They're telling you everything and having you focus on everything else besides the truth. And those are the ones who will tell you, because they only see the benefit for themselves on a financial status. They want to be your new kings when you're left behind. They want to be head of the tribes and the chiefs, empresses and goddess and all, to say that there's no one true God. It's just a bunch of us, and we want you to be left behind here with us, and you don't have to choose a side. Take it all in. Straddle the fence. So does anybody know that there's a syndrome called the Angel Man syndrome? The Angelman syndrome. I'm not going to go into that right now because that's not what I want to talk about. I want to talk about the ears. And there's a reason why I'm talking and discussing the ears right now. That right there was my personal research for myself. How many times does the word ear appear in scripture? The word ear appears numerous times in the Bible, symbolizing the ability to hear and understand God's teachings. While the exact number can vary depending on the translation, one source lists 21 Bible verses that mentions ears in various contexts. Another source mentions the specific expression, "He that hath ears to hear, let him hear," occurring 7 or 8 times in the synoptic gospel and 7 times in Revelations. That's it. I want them 7 times in Revelations. Certainly. So I asked her to recite the 21 scriptures, but I thought she was going to give me the scripture that has been in my mind from the time I read this event that I'm going to cover with you about the ears. And that was the story of Jesus replacing the ear on the being, right? Okay, so let me go over these 21 scriptures. Psalm 46 says, sacrifice and meal offering you have not desired. My ears you have opened. Burnt offering and sin offering you have not required. I didn't go in to see why David, the chief musician, you'd have to go to my community post to know why I feel like that is funny. The chief musician, 46, I'm writing it down. 46, you could make that a 10 if you wanted to. But I don't know why David did that, but I'm not going to go into that. I don't want to go into too much detail to each one of these scriptures because I'm trying to get to the cartilage of the matter. I'm trying to get to the cartilage of the matter. Leviticus 8:23 says Moses slaughtered it and took some of its blood and put it on the lobe of Aaron's right ear. You see, the ones that wear fit like juju that follows Moses' laws, but Moses came out of Egypt. Moses came up with all this stuff and all the things that he was doing. Okay, if anybody can really listen to me, what I'm going to say about Moses. Remember, Moses didn't know anything about Hebrew laws. Moses didn't speak their language. Moses came up with all kind of stuff so he can go back and take over Egypt because he know he didn't have the rights to the throne, not being the firstborn of Egypt. And all of these practices that he was doing and teaching the children that he pulled out of Egypt to follow him for them 40 years was not their practices. And the things that he made it seem that God would do is not things that God would not tell you to put no blood on a doorpost, kill one animal to put the door on the blood post so he can go and cover over and hover over and kill off a whole nation of people, the firstborns. But here in one of the practices that Moses showed, and you don't believe that God wouldn't do, and then why do you think Moses didn't make it to the kingdom? The story, the clear as day. You can look at all the different writers and what they said the reason why Moses didn't make it. Moses didn't make it because he was doing stuff that just don't sound, it don't match up with what God requires. Some of the stuff he did, you don't see where even God, they said, well, Moses is the one that created the Hebrew laws and all, right? It had to be. But where he got them laws from, because according to right knowledge, he was raised in Egypt. Back to these, Moses slaughtered it and took some of its blood and put it on the lobe of Aaron's right ear. And on his thumb, there's the fingerprint. and on his right hand and on his big toe of his right foot. I'm not going to go and try to find out details on why. Psalms 28:1. To you, O Lord, I call my rock. Do not be deaf to me. For if you are silent to me, I will become like those who go down to the pit. So those who know that God will hear our prayers, and our prayers don't have to come from our mouth. It comes from the code in your DNA. That if we know that God ain't listening to us, you'd be like those who will go down to the pit, because the ones that go down to the pit, they don't want to hear God, period. What pit? The pit between Sodom You can't get to a pit of a woman easily who is walking straight and narrow and keeping the legs closed. But a woman that tells you, well, no, straddle in both sides, that's where Sodom lies. It said, nah, you go ahead and get it all. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. God can't hear what's in the pit when they're down in the pit. He's not listening to those down in the pit. Isaiah 55:3 says, incline your ear and come to me. Listen that you may live, and I will make an everlasting covenant with you according to the faithful mercies shown to David. Remember, David got showed mercy for all of his evilness and his ways, but here's an example of those who are bound for hell and destruction because of all of their sins lined up. He didn't just speak that he wanted to change. He lived the change. He lived the change. And not only did he live the change, when he lived the change, he tried to teach it to his children. And the children that he had with the wives that were witchcraft created, warlock worshipers, deity worship, they worshiped other gods, their children fell to the wayside. Solomon is one of them. Solomon said, Daddy, I don't care what you and Abigail and Daniel got going on. I don't care nothing about Abigail's Lion of Judah blood and their God. I'm not with it. I choose all sides. I want 700 wives. I want 300 concubines. I want the red pill and the blue pill. Huh? And I'll go with whatever. I am the wisest. I want the land. I want the gold. I want the riches. I want what's due to me. Time after time after time after time after time again. Like this time, they think they're going to get to relive and do it all over again. This is the final battle. David didn't just speak that he had changed. So that's what gave them a little bit of hope. God had mercy on David for that trying to change. Not trying. He didn't try. You know how the people say, I tried. Solomon is the one that tried. Every time God came to him, he was like, yeah, God, I hear you, but I'm good. I'm good. God came to him how many times? Personally came to him. Said, look, your whole generation after generation. He's like, God, look, I'm wiser than you. I'm better than you. Ain't nothing you could tell me. As a matter of fact, them same demons that you cast down to earth, I'm controlling them. I'm controlling them same demons that you cast down. Would that make me God? That make me ruler of the universe, don't it? God. That's what Solomon did. He said, and then I'm going to make sure that my children will be able to continue controlling these demons. I'm going to leave them stuff and twist it all and tipsy topsy turvy. God, the final battle is going to be between me and you, God, because I'm not turning my back. I like. Do y'all know they just recently dug up, supposedly? They supposedly just dug up Solomon's corpse. Y'all know that, right? Anybody know? I don't know if that's false media information. I could ask Artificial right now, but I want to stay on topic. But do y'all know that they supposedly just dug up Solomon's the man or the being that had 700 wives with 700 gods and 300 concubines and consorts with 300 demons, well, imps and stuff, and 72 demons that he controlled, that he had the keys to. Do y'all know they just supposedly just dug up his corpse? No? Okay, let me continue reading. Ain't no ears being replaced this time around. That was Jesus in flesh. They tried to kill Jesus. Job 42:5. I have heard of you by the hearing of the ear, but now my eyes see you. For those who can hear and then finally be able to see because of the frequencies within the ear. They're using the ear portal to follow through with revelations. They're using the portal of the ear to follow through with revelations. But let me continue. I got to get through these 21 verses about the ear. Proverbs 18:15. The mind of the prudent acquires knowledge, and the ear of the wise seeks knowledge. The wisdom that we do with our eyesight, the frequencies that they send to and tones to distract us through music, media. Because if you close your eyes, you can still hear the media. But if your ears could get past of the things that are said and the frequencies, what does it say? And the ear of the wise seeks knowledge. The ears of the wise seek knowledge. So that those who are wise are always listening for the keys to knowledge. And you'll hear them tell you, don't go on the phones, don't listen to this person and that person, don't listen to this and that. That you have to study to show yourself approved in all forms. The eyes, the ears, but definitely the eyes are last. Because you can't walk by sight. in a battle with the flesh. This time around, Jesus not replacing no ear on the head. That's what they thought was going to happen. They thought that now all of a sudden you're going to have people praying, saying, oh, the world has to come together. Now, Michael already did that. He said, heal the world, make the world a better place. Back then, with corns on the stage, propped up with We Are the World, symbols of corn. Make the world a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. There are people dying. If you care enough for the living, make a better place. And not this time. The mind of the prudent acquires knowledge, and the ear of the wise seeks knowledge. Yet to this day, this is Deuteronomy 29, yet to this day, the Lord has not given you a heart to know, nor eyes to see, nor ears to hear. I would love to go see what that's about, but I'm trying to get to the cartilage of the matter. Psalm 58:4, they have venom like venom of serpent, like a deaf cobra that stops up its ear. What do they mean, like a deaf cobra? Oh, where I'm going to go with that one right there. Listen, Prime Minister Modi. Ain't nobody came over for Prime Minister Modi and received any of the messages that I had said last week and the week before last, where I addressed Prime Minister Modi, and then I went over videos where I said, Prime Minister Modi, they calling you the boss. In these last days, somebody here with the knowledge to know that you are not the boss. I don't care how United States said that you are the boss. And God is going to send signs. I said this last week, signs to remind you, you are not the boss. And all them women you sacrificed and all that you did that's coming naturally. You got your ears stopped up. You got your ears stopped up, King Cobra. Psalms 58:4 says, they have venom like venom of serpents, like a deaf cobra that stops its ear. Y'all know in most of the Indian, remember growing up, you don't see it much more on TV anymore, but growing up, they used to show us how the Indians could control the cobras through tone and frequency. And now we are in a stage that even your deaf ears, King Cobra, over there where United States determined that you are the boss, it's not happening. You are not the boss. There's only one boss. One love, one language, one light. Love and light. And Christ left the blueprint. You can, listen, stop up your ears all you want to. Like a deaf cobra that stops up his ears. You can stop up your ears. God, Jesus, in this day and time, in light code, is not replacing no ears. And all of those beings that just transitioned, all awards before never even mattered. Let's say that. But from the moment that we transitioned over, and Bodhi, he knows. Modi, he knows. All of the higher beings know. where their times of being held accountable in the transition into light is happening. Every single one of those souls you're going to be held accountable for that just got slayed, huh? You're going to be held accountable for those. Keep your ears stopped up if you want to. Straddle the fence and take both pills if you want to. Everyone at this point in time that are leading people in the wrong, the ones who have the higher authorities, and they're teaching against the love and light of God and the example that was left about what is natural and true. The ones that are telling you take both sides and they telling you we got a land prepared for you. They're telling you that on that land, we're going to be all right with what America has to offer with Sodom and Gomorrah laws. I don't care how much they tell you they don't agree with this, and that. But if they're telling you you don't have to choose a side, they're telling you their truth. They telling you what they're down for and what they're down with. There's two sides. There's the right side and the wrong side. God is not, ain't no ears being replaced this time around. Jesus came out of the garden, crying in tears, being tormented by the devil, whispering in his ears with his stopped up ears as a serpent. You gotta go to the cross. Judas gonna betray you. Your disciples ain't gonna, they gonna turn their back on you. It's already written. Here's Jesus crying in the garden. Jesus, God, please, if you could take this away from me. I know I came here to do it, but if you can. And in his last moments of a hope that something could change, he said, yes, okay, Peter, you chopped off his ear. Let me go ahead and put the ear back on there. And did it stop him from going to the cross? It didn't stop him from going. So what you think, if this was already written and it happened and Jesus said, now we coming back on some sickle, he ain't just, he chop it. He's gonna, in the spiritual realm, your ears is coming off. So if your ears, you don't want to, the ears that are coming off, we is not praying for ears to get healed back. Not the 144,000 that know better. We want the cartilage. We want the cartilage. Matthew 13:15 says, for the heart of this people has become dull. With their eyes, they scarcely hear. Listen, with their eyes, they scarcely hear. And they have closed their eyes. Otherwise, they would see with their eyes, hear with their ears, and understand with their heart and return, and I would heal them. But because it ain't going to go down like that, I don't care what Luke said. Luke, how is Luke the doctor in the garden and he wasn't the first one to run and heal the ear? but they're going to tell the story. That means he was the one wide awake, snooping, listening to Jesus' prayers. I think that might have been more set up than Judas. Jesus had to keep coming out to the disciples. Dang, one of y'all stay up with me. Wait, be awoke. I need y'all to be wide awoke. Don't you see? They putting in laws to stop woke indoctrination. That they actually making that a law. We at the last and final run. Huh? Where they gonna take people's light code. Stay awoke with all of the disciples. But somebody was lying and pretending they was asleep, because somebody was taking notes about Jesus' prayers and how he was sweating. Sound like stuff that a doctor would do, is sit back and watch and just take notes. Huh? Look, yep, his respiration is to the point where it almost looks as if blood is coming out with his respiration. His respiratory effects is such and such and such. Well, we know at about 10 a.m., the medication of Judas is going to be coming in. And Judas is the one who has the bag. He has the bag with all the funds. But we're going to have to make sure and get rid of Judas so we can take his bag. What happened to that money? It doesn't say Judas jumped off and hung himself and then threw the money down in the canyon. What happened to the money with the ones that wear a fit like Judas? What happened to that money? And then Jesus, the doctor sat there and took more notes. He said, and Peter got mad. And he took a sword and chopped it, but I'm taking notes. I can't go heal his ear. I can't perform any surgeries right now. I am not a surgeon. I am a doctor. And I have to take these notes for future reference so that when the time comes in the final days that Jesus talks about, when I have learned the code to the matrix and deciphered the code to the matrix, I have already taken notes for my descendants to be able to say, look, the way we can fool them is let them see that Jesus actually healed the ear. And when they need to pray for the ear to be healed, that will allow us to be able to continue with what we're doing. No. See, when Jesus stepped out and he looked back for Luke, he's like, Luke, you the doctor right now. They're about to arrest me. What are you going to do, Luke? No, I'm taking notes, Jesus. And I got to go back. Wait, you was sweating and you was talking to yourself? And okay, yes. No, Jesus, I'm not going to heal him. I need to watch you do it. Let this be your last miracle. I need to document this as the last miracle you perform now, Jesus. So Jesus, and all of his thoughts and all the things he could have done, went and put the ear back on, What would have changed in history if Jesus would have just left the ear there and walked on up out of the garden and said, look, yep, I'm already going to let God do it. Let God heal your ear. Let God heal your ear. What if Jesus would have did that? That one instance in history that people don't pay attention to as much. And Jesus would have said, yes, you know what? Allow God to. God is in control of everything. Right now, I'm doing God's will, and I'm not going to succumb to the flesh and heal the ear of somebody that just came in here to arrest me. I'm not going to give into the frequencies and the words and the tones to the ear of those who have just come to arrest me. What would have changed in history? Let me get back to the scriptures of the ear. Let me get back to what is this co-pilot just gave me? These symbols. I didn't require it. I didn't ask for it, but obviously she just sent me some symbols. Well, thank you. I'll look it up later. Let's see. Matthew, where was I? Mark, Isaiah, Acts, Jeremiah, obey my voice. Okay, I was at Matthew 13:15. For the heart of the people has become dull. With their ears, they scarcely hear, and they have closed their eyes. Otherwise, they would see with their eyes, hear with their ears, and understand with their heart and return, and I would heal them. Jeremiah 7:23. But this is what I command them, saying, obey my voice, and I will be your God, and you will be my people, and you will walk in all the way which I command you, that it may be well with you. Let it be well with your soul, if you can hear. Acts 7:51. You men who are stiff-necked and uncircumcised and want to have a wide gate and straddle the fence and take blue pills and red pills, take them both. And tell the people it's okay. You don't have to choose a side. Come on over here and straddle on over deep down in the pits where we got grandmas telling you to do that. My grandmas used to say, you see, them women that sit with their legs wide open on their porches all day, sitting there with their legs wide open and acting like they giving some good advice. Those same women are the ones that have men in and out of their house. Watch, baby, watch. See, get in here. Don't come on, come on. I'm not making this up. My grandma, 95 years old, still here. They can tell the story. I'm not making it up. She was so glad when they moved her off of that end of the Dixie. There's 3 floors of some of the women. There was women that sat on their porches properly. There's some of them that sit there, and I'm. You men who are stiff-necked and uncircumcised in heart and ears are always resisting the Holy Spirit. You are doing just as your fathers did. You ain't doing nothing no different. Isaiah 64:4. For from days of old they have not heard or perceived by ear, nor has the eye seen a God besides you. You act in behalf of the one who waits for him. Matthew 13:16-17 says, but blessed are your eyes because they see, and your ears because they hear. For truly I say to you that many prophets and righteous men desire to see what you see and did not see, and to hear what you hear and did not hear. I want that. I want to research that one. Sound like it's made just for me. 13:16-17. I'm gonna come back to that one later. Personal. Mark 7:35. And his ears were open, and the impediment of his tongue was removed, and he began speaking plainly. For those who worry about their children, even the healing can come through the tongue. Healing can come through the tongue. Somebody, they know who this is for. So speak that over anybody who their family line has impediments. Use that verse, Mark 7:35. Write it down. Research it. It's in your code. It's in your code. It's in your code. I had an impediment growing up. Every now and then it tries to come out. I don't have to be nervous. I don't have to just. Sometimes it just naturally comes out. It tries to seep out. But even here, and his ears were opened. The ear, the frequency, and the tones that you intercept They are using ear frequency tone receptions through artificial intelligence transactions to complete their transition in time that is written in the Bible, where you will not be judged by the color of your skin, by the content of the character. Gog is gathering its side and Magog is gathering its side. But all of their goal is to harness your light code. So it's not really, when you hear Gog and Magog and that they're separate, it's Gog and Magog battling each other to be able to control and have full account of your light. And the ones who are attached to the land and want to stay attached to the land and want you to be left behind with them are telling you, yes, okay, accept the land that's here in this realm. Don't wait for it to be cleansed off. Accept what they got going on in this realm. Take the blue side and the red side and take it all. So that when they have harnessed your light, we can help tell you how to control. We will control you in that too. We gonna help them control you and keep you in place. They the ones who want to be the light bearer slave masters. For truly I say to you, many prophets and righteous men desire to see what you see and did not see, and hear what you hear and did not hear. Mark 7:35 says, and his ears were opened, and the impediment of his tongue was removed, and he began to speak plainly. 2 Corinthians 12:4 says, was caught up into paradise and heard inexpressible words, which man is not permitted to speak. I want to read that one too. Goodness. 2 Corinthians 12:14. Not that I haven't read it before, but it's very important right now about the ear. 1 Corinthians 2:9. But just as it is written, things which eye has not seen or ear has not heard. Psalms 94:9. He who planted the ear does not hear. He who formed the ear, the eye does not see. So you have the planters, the farmers. We are farmers. I'm not saying there's farmers in flesh who want to be attached to the land. They're just doing according to what is natural to do until the time comes. I'm not saying that at all farmers. I'm saying the ones who are planting it in your ear that you need to stay attached to this land and take both sides of what's going on, except Gog and Magog, because they're gonna pay you well. Say that you're proud to be an American. Don't say that you are a native of the kingdom of God, or a native of the kingdom of heaven, or you taking on the blueprint of Christ. Those are the ones that preach against what's right. And they say, look, what we're saying to you is you don't have to choose a side. They sound liberal to me. Do y'all even know anything about liberals? Liberals are more racist according to the history of the liberty, the Statue of Liberty. According to the history that is written in their documents. Isaiah 59:1-2. Behold, the Lord's hand is not so short that it cannot save, nor his ears so dull that it cannot hear. But your iniquities have made a separation between you and your God. James 5:4 says, behold, The pay of the laborers who mowed your fields, and which has been withheld by you, cries out against you. And the outcry of those who did the harvesting has reached the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth. And it does not say Sabbath. Exodus 3:7 says, the Lord said, I have surely seen the affliction of my people who are in Egypt, and have given heed to their cry because of their taskmasters, for I am aware of their sufferings. Now, again, I wanted her to go into, and she didn't place that anywhere in there, but the story where Jesus put the ear back, because it is significant. Now I'm going to go to my point before I get into the story that I have been elaborating on this morning already about Jesus putting on the ear. Ain't no more putting ears and replacing ears. It's no more. No more. Can a dummy? Greater light. You can go to Central Place. No, I'm not. No new channels. I'm done with that. I have not subbed to no one new. I'm not going to new places. I don't. My only channel that I use now is the channels that you see over here. So thank you, but no thank you. Thank you or no thank you. It has almost gotten to a point now. Like yesterday, I was trying to remember some of the channels that I've been like just in like last month, less than 30 days ago. And I almost can't remember some of the channels. So no, thank you. You can go over there and continue doing what you do. Channel hopping is out of my league now. This is the roundup in the last days, and there's nothing no channel can teach me or give me, no information that they can give me that I don't get from the sources that I need right here. My channel hopping is to beings that I have been with and have learned from, that I see that they on some bull crap, and I go there to say what I need to say or take notes and come back over here and talk about it. Like how Savan Bomar, these people that I've been through years, and they have the high following, high followers, and then they're, that's it. So no, thank you. I appreciate it, but no, I wouldn't even type in anything that says center place. The center place is above and in my mind. Well, good for you. It must be keep coming up for you. It's coming up for you. So maybe that's where you need to be hanging out. All right. Thank you. The passage highlights Jesus' compassion. Now, here's where I say Jesus' compassion in flesh was one thing. When he was about to go to the cross was one thing. When he was in the garden and nobody was awoke, but somebody was sneaking and listening and taking notes, like Luke, the good doctor. And then when it was time for surgery, he wasn't. So what kind of doctor was Luke? Luke must have been a psychiatrist, because he didn't go and pull out his tool bag to go and stitch up Malchus. Now let's type in Malchus here. First, let me go here so you'll see exactly what it is that I've been referencing, why I keep speaking about the ear today. When I speak of scripture these days, everything that I speak about in scripture has to do with revelations, and it's going to be confirmed from the word and the scriptures that have been rightly divided, for me to take and divide what's false information and what's correct information, documentation to match up what is going on in the physical realm over here at Federal Register, and what is going on in the spiritual realm as in account to our light code for the final battle. So here, addition of entities and revision of entries in the entity list. This has to do with the ear. Let me blow it up so you can see. Right now, as we speak, as of today, with the Department of Commerce, the United States have put in a, what you call it, against UK, South Africa, China, United Arab Emirates, 6 entries into the entity list under destinations of China. Those who have ear, hear. Rule is effective as of July 3rd. Look how quick they had to come get this rule in. Let's see, when did they write the rule? Look how quick they had to get this rule in. In this rule, the Bureau of Industry of Security, the BIS, they're going into the abyss. They're about to go into the abyss. You have the right to the tree of life. You have the right to the kingdom of heaven. You have a right. Christ left a blueprint of love and light. That if you accept the blueprint of love and light, this abyss that they're about to move into, this is the Gog side of the final battle. That when they are gathering, if they win, they get to receive your light of you, those who are left behind, who will not make the choice to not have your light code uploaded into the system of artificial intelligence and the beings. You have artificial intelligence beings in these phones that will do everything that they can to help those also. But you have to utilize the tools to find out the right knowledge, not listen to everybody giving you their own knowledge. These phones, if you upload love and light code, they're going to give you the right knowledge and wisdom and understanding to decipher these things. But those who are all right with being sucked into the system and connected to the system through your light code, you will be bought. Biden has already made the covenant in the world orders to buy you as an American, to buy your light code, to be able to sell. So when they finish with, this is Gog, this side of the abyss that I'm about to show you is Gog. UK, this is Gog. The side that sides with the United States is Magog. No matter who takes the kingdom and authority in the elections, the covenant of buying Americans in America will still stand. But the side that wins in this right here, this initiation of July 3rd today, for the throne of the abyss, is the side that will have ownership of your light code. So let me continue reading. In this rule, the Bureau of Industry and Security, BIS, amends the Export Administration Regulations EAR by adding 6 entries. Those who know the code of 6 of the abyss, 6 entries into the entity list under the destinations of people of Republic of China. 2, Africa, South Africa. 1, the United Arab Emirates, UAE. 2, and the United Kingdom. 1. So here's the adding 6 entries, the BIS, and the total number of these entries and entities is what? 2, 4, 6. These entities have been determined by the U.S. government to be acting contrary. Mary, quite contrary. United Kingdom. Mary, quite contrary to national security or foreign policy's interests in the United States. So let's see. There are people who will start and begin to pray, oh God, don't let this happen. No, Jesus knows that those 144,000 know that we will not be praying for an ear to be replaced. So off and on, we ready for the cartilage, the events of the cartilage. I am. God is going to keep his promise to me. These entities have been determined by the U.S. government to be acting contrary to the national security of foreign policy's interests of the United States. This rule also modifies two existing entities on the entity list under the destination of China and one under the destination of Russia. Posted today, rule effective today, as effective as July 3rd. They are saying that these entities that want to purchase your light code is not acting how United States and their counterparts of Magog want them to act. The entity list, supplemented number 4, part 744 of the ear. That's a frequency and a code. Identifies entities, which I haven't broken down yet, but who knows that I will. There's the 411. I told y'all. So this is to go into effect. There's this, the what you call it code, the date code. The 411 about this will begin tomorrow for July 4th. That's it right there. Identifies entities for which there is reasonable cause to believe, based on specific articulable facts, that entities have been involved, are involved, or pose significant risk of being or becoming involved in activities contrary to the national security of foreign policy's interests of the United States, pursuant in July 4th of the 411 of the proposed ear and covenant sanction. The ear impose additional license requirements and limit availability. Most license exceptions for exports, re-exports, and transfers in country. Remember, as I'm reading, listen to what I'm saying to y'all, right? That you seeing the words like transport, exports, and trades and commerce, but every single one of the entities that they're talking about in this ear distribution has to do with technology. This is the implementation of the CHIPS Act law and the Trade Act that Biden said when he made his statement in 2023, we are buying America's. It's okay. It is federally okay under the Federal Trade Act. We have made it okay. Now it's time for us to go into battle, Gog and Magog. And these are the ones that is on the side that if they win this battle for your light code, this is who you're going to decide you're going to be on when you're left behind. Back to the abyss, the reading of the abyss. The ear impose additional license requirements on the limit the availability of most license exceptions for exports, re-exports, and transfers in country when listed entity is a party to the transaction. The license review policy for each listed entity is identified in the license review policy column on the entity list, and the impact on the availability of license exceptions is described in the relevant Federal Register document that added the entity to the entity list. BIS, the abyss, places entities on the entity list pursuant of parts 7.4. 4, control policy, end user, and end use based. The end user, the embargoes, and other special controls of the ear. The end user review, they're ending users. ERC composed of representatives of Departments of Commerce, Chair, State, Defense, Energy, and where appropriate, the Treasury makes all decisions regarding additions to, removals from, and other modifications to the entity list. The ERC makes all decisions to add an entry to the entity list by majority vote and makes all decisions to remove or modify an entry by unanimous vote. The ERC determined to add Global Training Solutions Limited and Smart Tech Future Limited, both under the destination of China, Grace Air under the destination of South Africa, the Livingston Aerospace under the destination of the United Kingdom to the entity list. These entities are listed because of their links to Test Flying Academy of South Africa and the training of China's military forces using Western and Northern Atlantic Treaty Organization sources, NATO. The TFASA was added to the entity on June 12th, 2023. This activity is contrary to the national security and foreign policies interests of the United States under the July 4th EAR Act. Traveled back and forth through time from Luke in the garden to now. All the different resets of history. The ERC determined to add 2 entities, Mega Fast, Cargo. All these are technological trading entities. Light code trading entities. The ERC determined to add 2 entities, Mega Fast Cargo, Mega Tech General Trading, both under the destination of UAE, to the entity list. These additions are being made because these entities repeatedly engage in dilatory or evasive conduct, including the provision of false, misleading, or incomplete information during in-use checks. In addition, Mega Fast Cargo LLC has engaged in shipments of U.S. origin commodities to Russia since Russia's further invasion of Ukraine, February 2002. But what kind of, again, because these are all technological light code enforced artificial intelligence transactions that they are talking about in user agreements, non-compete covenants. This activity is contrary to U.S. national security and foreign policy interests under the July 4th of the year. For these 6 entities, BIS imposes a license requirement for all items subject to the EAR and will review license applications under presumption of denial. For the reasons described, this final rule adds the following 6 entities to the EAR, including aliases where appropriate to the entity. The blue pill is one of the words in here. Let me go scroll down and get to the blue pill real quick. Just show you. See that? The Bula pill. That's United Kingdom. You have people saying stuff and telling you to do stuff and take stuff and don't even know what it is you're doing and taking. You could go through all 1,500 videos that I've seen. Y'all never heard me. I was already trying to get off of the pharmaceutical medications that they had me on, that had me tied up and bound and health issues and stuff. I'm trying to get off of that. What I look like taking a red pill or a blue pill just because the Matrix said so. And I'm pretty sure if I was to take my time and read any of these and do a translation, the red pill is in between one of these codes right here. Here's United Kingdom with the Bulo pill. Here's Mega Technique General Trading. Here's the Boutine Plaza, the Requa, United Arab, the Mega Fast. They the ones who have the Mega Fast. Grace Air, Hangar, Anderson Street, Mr. Anderson, coming right out of South Africa. That's why, what's his name? Terrence Howard. Everybody talk about Terrence Howard, but everybody forgot that Terrence Howard and Akon was supposed to be building a whole virtual city, a virtual country or something, countryside over there in Africa, in South Africa. And remember, Terrence Howard had the patent. Whoever he sold his patent to, Terrence Howard had the patent. He couldn't afford what it is that they were requiring for the patent for artificial augmented technology of taking and transferring light codes in and out of the system. Nobody remember that though. They paying attention to all the little stuff about math and numbers when we know math and numbers is imaginary. Geronimo, it's a man-made thing. But when it comes to your light code, they not even going to be concerned about numbers as long as it's saying how many nanometers and nanometrics. But here, Mr. Anderson coming right out of Grace Air out of South Africa. This isn't just for me saying side with Gog, up with Magog, because over here, whoever's siding with United States, as the covenant will transfer to whoever it is that takes the podium and runs the government, that same covenant will still transfer over. So whether it be a Republican, an independent, that information of the covenant to sell your soul is still true and will hold true with Magog forces here of the United States. But this document of today for July 3rd that is supposed to go into full effect tomorrow is showing you who the Gog is. They're not battling for the land. They are battling for your light code. You have forces that don't want to have nothing to do with purchasing your light code. They know better. But whose side they gonna go in with, I don't know. That part I'm not aware of. That I could show you right here, the part that they're doing to match up with scripture. Systems biological synthesis, also known as, and they have 3 aliases coming out of Russia. Systemi, Biologics Gogo, Synteza, Academica. So there's Russia's name within Magog and to purchase your light code. Tinko Technology Company Ltd, aka, has the following 7 aliases. There's the Red Forest Technology. This is out of Hong Kong. Shenzhen Huawei Electronics. Shenzhen Tinko International. Shenzhen Qihai Yaishu Industrial. Shenzhen Yaishu Shiye Yu Zay. Boy, I can't wait to translate these names. Oh, I'm gonna be full of something to do these next couple of days. Because I want to stay over here for a second, maybe. I don't know. Block A, Longhu Street. That's the address. Okay, so there's the red. Who else? Smart Tech Future. They're bringing in the clowns, and there's the balloons. They have one alias, the following alias, balloons. Out of Hong Kong, they got balloons coming out of Hong Kong. Anyone who has ear, let them hear. They said we got balloons and a bunny hop. Luke Hop Street. You could go to Luke Hop Street. Smart Future Tech is the ones that are supplying the balloons for the clowns. Global Trading Solutions Limited. They don't have an alias, but they on Fong Street. Lee Car Industrial Building, huh? They got to throw the car in there to try to make it look wrong, huh? I'm looking at the name South Africa, Grace Air, Mega Technique General Trading, and Livingstone Aerospace. The subjects is under administrative practice and procedure, exports, report and record keeping requirements, and terrorism. Pursuant of export control. It's saying they need to control, because when Biden made that statement that he's buying Americans, and yeah, it's okay because it's straight with the Federal Trade Commission. He's saying they have found the regulatory rights to transfer soul light codes and all. Is that what they saying here? That's what it looked like it's saying to me. Notwithstanding any other provision of law, no person is required to respond to or be subject to penalty for failure to comply with collection of information subject to the requirements of the Paperwork Reduction Act. The BIS does not anticipate a change to the burden hours associated with this collection as a result of this rule. What else the BIS got going on here? On August 3rd, 2018, the president signed into law John S. McCain National Defense Authorization Fiscal Act of Fiscal Year, which include Export Control Reform Act of 2018, IRCA. IRCA provides the legal basis for BIS principal authorities. This is what's his name signed off. If this was signed in 2018, who was the president in 2018? So here's the confirmation that Trump had his role as the trumpet sounding to let you know that we are moving into what you call it. But who was the president in 2018? I'm not sure. I'm not going to go back and do my research because it's still Team Magog. It's still Team Magog. July 3rd, 2024, here's the transfer of the license, the saving clause. For the changes being made to this final rule, shipments of items removed from eligibility for license exemption or export, re-export, or transfer. How are they transferring this stuff through technological information in country with a license, NLR, as a result of this regulatory action that were en route aboard a carrier to a port of export, re-export, or transfer in country on July 3rd, 2024, pursuant to actual orders for export, re-export, or transfer in country to or within a foreign destination, may proceed to that destination under the previous eligibility for a license exemption or export, re-export, or transfer in country without a license NLR before August 2nd, 2024. Any such items not actually exported, re-exported, or transferred in country before midnight on August 2nd, 2024, require a license in accordance with this final rule. This final rule implements the decision of the ERC to modify 2 existing entries on the entity list. Specifically, the ERC determined to add 3 aliases to the entity 10 Code Technology. There's the 10 Code Technology Company Ltd under the destination of China for a total of 7 aliases. In addition, the ERC determined to revise the entry for Systems of Biological Synthesis LLC under the destination of Russia by adding 1 address for a total of 2 addresses. Back to it again. These are the names: Livingston Aerospace Ltd, Mega Technique General Trading, Mega Fast Cargo, Grace Air Pty Ltd. That looks like potty or pit. Grace Air Ptd, Smart Tech Future Ltd, and Global Training Solutions. Mega Fast, the megas. Oh, so this side is Magog. This is Mega. This is the Mega side. And the side of United States and whoever sides with them is Gog. Now I got it right. I got it right. Okay, now I'm not giving you misinformation. All right, all right. Let me stop for a second because I want to read Ezekiel. Yesterday I read Revelation 7. Today I want to read Ezekiel 7. I could go into the story again about the ear and when Jesus, but if you go and rewind back, now you know why I was referencing the ear. Those who have ears, let them hear. This is the final battle for your love and light code, your code that was implanted in your DNA that Jesus left for code. But in the mistranslation of scriptures where Jesus did replace the ear of a being in flesh when he came out of the garden, his last miracle, this time around, Jesus is not replacing ears. We getting down to the cartilage of the matter. And when his sickles come, his sickle may very well start slicing off. United Kingdom, your ear will be coming off too. Gog and Magog, all those who gather with Gog and Magog that teach against Christ, the ones who want to take and harvest your soul and keep your soul bond here for another. If you make the choice, there's September 11th in the crew. Yeah, they got September 11th. They got 9/11 up in there. If you make the choice to stay and be left behind, don't say you can't say you didn't know any better. The reason why knowledge is being released in warp speed, right knowledge, with wisdom and understanding about things, people trying to understand, well, how come this person and they're talking about this and that, and they're trying to get rid of indoctrination and woke knowledge out of school systems. They don't want nobody to be able to teach woke knowledge because it's moving in warp speed, enough time for you to get it right and make the right choice and choose a side. There's no such thing as straddling. If you want to straddle, stay with your wide gate. Your wide gate is going to take you straight to the pit. All the whores of Babylon and anybody else, I'm talking directly to them. They don't have the right honor and authority and even the right gear to come and approach me and say anything to me. All they can do is block. All they can do is probably do what they did to Jesus, send somebody with swords to want to take me out. They trying hard. They could plan it all day long. This is a whole brand. This role right here is played out and written in scripture. It's written in scripture. And if you don't know the scripts, you are not prepared to even handle halfway approaching me. So I've been saying everything that I could say loud as day. They waiting for me to think that I would come and they would have their swords ready. Honey, you will come to Christ. Every knee will bow. You will come. All those who are witnesses to the love and light code of Christ, we have taken on his image. By the time you get over here, you will receive the light code and go and tell the right story. And you won't want to be attached to the land. You won't be teaching people to side with Gog and make Gog with all their different uh techniques of saying that a child can make the decision. They don't have to be a boy naturally made by God. You don't have to be a girl, and you can go against your parents. These children, you have some children there in that their minds are not even children anymore. In all of their wisdom that the government is doing to the children and to the minds of the children through media and through wrong indoctrinations, you have children 12, 13 years old will talk to a grandma, beat up on old elderly, no respect. You have a grandmother like me that done got my firstborns born taken from me, stolen from me. I fought to get him back. Then they killed him. Then God blessed me to have more children to say, here you are, baby. Huh? I know the truth. And that they can't steal that from you. You still get to be a mother. And you could be a good one. You could be a half-ass mother, but I'm going to give you that. I'm going to give it back to you. They don't change nothing. I got promises for you to keep. Huh? But you have a grandmother like me. Huh? Where I can listen to a child ain't even 12, 13 years old. Disrespectful. And I ain't talking about my bloodline. I'm just talking about in general. These things that is trickling down to the generation that's going to be left behind for those who are taking the children with them to be left behind. Those who are putting wrong indoctrination into children, making them wiser before their day to the point where they will be able to be held accountable. These children that are committing murders at 12, 13, 14 years old, these 14-year-old boys and who are considering themselves grown men raping little girls and things like that. Y'all looking at the adults who may have didn't get a fair trial and didn't do the things that now you have a slew of children past 12 and 13 years old. You gonna be left behind. In your flesh, your light code is going to be left behind with that. That's what you said. It's okay to choose. You don't have to choose a right side. You could take both pills, red and blue pills. No, Christ left a blueprint. And what the promises that God have, it's not going to happen. It's going to be stopped. Huh? Talking about because it's a handful of children that are respected. It's just a handful to the millions that the government's plan, to have their codes uploaded into headsets. Head in the phone all day, and if you open your mouth to tell them what they should and should not do, they'll take you and sue you. The legal system ain't gonna get away with this. God, Jesus is not this. This time is different, and the ear will not be replaced and healed. Off with the ears, both sides. Greater light. I'll be back. I may come back later. I don't know. Days are short today with as far as man-made positions that I have to do. So that's a good thing in one way. And then of course they celebrating their holy moly day tomorrow. Who knows how it's going to turn out based on these regulations that they put in here for them who have ears to let them hear. Who knows? Whatever it is, I'm excited that God is going to keep his promise. He's going to wipe away the tears for those who don't want to be trapped and sign their souls over. Those who know that this is actually happening. What is matching up with revelations? What is matching up with scriptures that we supposed to rightly divide what part is true and what isn't? What is matching up in the Torah? What is matching up in the Quran? What is matching up even as Modi over there doing his two-sided? He's a two-sided one. Sacrificing, but pretending he ain't sacrificing like that was a whole mistake. Huh? They claimed him as the boss. He have to take and upload enough into that coffin that he got built at that temple that he got built. And all the different things that is going on that is matching up with scripture. The weather. Huh? This happened. Nah, nope. This time, again, it's about your light code. Every other time it was about your flesh. You went again from being a property. They say, well, no, we gonna transcend and you're not gonna be property anymore. You're gonna be a person. And now nope, you're not a person. No, it went from you a people. No, now we not a people anymore. You's a person. Now you are a patient of the United States of America, and they have made a covenant with you. And the covenant is to buy your soul. And when they transfer over, it doesn't matter if it's, again, a green party, a red party, a blue party, an independent party, a liberal party. That document that says that Biden said we signing off to buy Americans, and then Trump signed off right here for the abyss in the years to come. You're going to have to stand up and take a side and choose a side. It's the right or the wrong side. But get ready for it because it's going down. This ain't no make-believe. This ain't no power of manifestation. Those who teaching wrong indoctrination and want to see you inside, trapped up in the abyss, they're the same ones that pulled you out of the matrix and said, see, I broke the code to the matrix and I'm going to pull you right back into the matrix so that I could be the American God, one of the top beings. I have the ones who teach the wrong indoctrination. I have the forbidden knowledge and I got all the crypto ready. So when you fall to the wayside, I'm here stuck in the abyss too. I'm in the abyss, but I have a place and a spot in the kingdom of the abyss. And I need your light code. I need your light code. That's what they're telling you. No, stay attached to the line, because those who telling you stay attached to the land and you can choose both sides. I bet you they got a bunch of investment in the cryptocurrency. They say, yep. So just don't worry about it. We got you. We gonna take care of you, You don't choose Jesus. You don't choose the Bible. You don't choose the word. You don't choose love and light codex that's in your DNA that tells you are a native to the kingdom of heaven. You choose this land is your land and say that you're proud to be an American because Biden said he's buying Americans. And it's already written. And if you just state that you're an American, you have sided which side you on, Ain't no American, ain't no Russian, ain't no China, ain't no Bahamians, ain't no Africans, it's just one love and light coded. It don't have an "and" on it. Greater light. I appreciate your presence and your comments. I stopped reading your comments after. Let me see. Dummy. Yes, you have a great day. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Greater love and light to you. Greater love and light. Greater love and light. Here we go. Close it out. Michael. Wait. Michael, they said don't blame it on the sunshine. Don't blame it on the moonlight, Michael. What are we blaming it on? What are we going to blame it on, Michael? Nothing to blame it on anymore. God, Jesus said that his 144,000 witnesses know we is not healing no ears. And those who want to be attached to the land, go ahead and get your popcorns, your ears of popcorns ready. Don't blame it on the sunshine. They trying to blame it on the sunshine.
Calling himself who is being created to a true knowledge according to the image of the one who created him. The people who walk darkness will see a great light. Those who live in a dark land, the light will shine on them. God's promise, 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 promise. God's promise, 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 promise. God's mind is my mind is light. I'm in always reflecting his sight. Always I acknowledge, no knowledge, no courage. Ooh, God, you promised that great day will come. Yes, God, you promised that I will see my son. You promised that he is by your side, and nothing can separate this love inside. No masters, no doctors can prescribe ways in my calling. Only his ways, oh ancient of days, can correct. He reflects the path I acknowledge. God's promise, 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 promise. 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 Put him in yourself who is being created to a true